Guys, WrestleMania is not that far away. It's literally right around the corner. It feels so close. It's just amazing. It's palpable. But guys, there has been so many fan theories that are coming out there about WrestleMania 32. What's going to happen towards the main event? What's going to happen? Who's going to debut? Any surprises? And honestly, I have my own top three personal WrestleMania theories that I believe might just happen at WrestleMania 32. And it's a huge possibility. I mean, with the history alone with some of these, and also with some proof, well, not really some proof, but some things that I've seen on the network that is kind of, in my opinion, some foreshadowing. But I really think that some of these theories might happen. I could be wrong. I don't mind being proven wrong. That happens. But guys, these are my top three WrestleMania theories for WrestleMania 32. And let's start with number 3. After seeing the collection on this, I really think that this is going to happen. There's been a huge rumor that Bayley might be coming to the main roster soon. And what a way to debut this. The Four Horsewomen have not been actually a staple on NXT, and they haven't really been properly announced, but they have been indirectly stated, not complete. They should have had this angle a long time ago. They should have been the top faction of NXT, but it was just something that never happened. These girls were great individually, and it shows. But it would be great to have an all-female faction that is extremely dominant in the women's division for the main roster, especially if they have a huge influence on the changing of the belt. I know that they're not going to have the women's title anymore. They're not going to have the women's championship. I'm okay with that. But at least change that belt. And I really feel that if they actually do have the Four Horsewomen debuting on WrestleMania, it's a possibility that they might be changing the look of the Divas title. And I'm fine with that. I hope that might happen. But guys, that collection that I saw on the network, in my opinion, is foreshadowing. Maybe it's just false hope. I don't know. But I think that this is going to happen. But anyway, guys, let's move on to number 2. A lot of people didn't like the storyline. A lot of people didn't think the storyline made any sense. A lot of people believe that Shane McMahon is going to have underneath it all. Is going to have somebody to take his place in the ring. In my opinion, that's not going to be so. But the overall theory is that Undertaker is going to win against Shane at Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania because it's Taker's last stand. This is Taker's last ride. He's going to be done after this. So the fans want him to have a match where he wins so he can have a triumphant legacy. That's not going to happen. The reason why I say it is this. It's because The Undertaker is an old school guy. He dropped it to Brock Lesnar because he respected Brock Lesnar. He doesn't drop it to anybody he doesn't respect. I don't know exactly what the relationship between him and Shane is, but I do know after watching WhatCulture.com and their top 10 list about Undertaker is that the fact that Undertaker got a massive respect for Vince. Vince would not allow Shane to be there if there wasn't any respect there. So if he respects Shane, then that means he does. And in my opinion, I really believe that The Undertaker is definitely going to drop the ball to Shane. And in my opinion, that's going to be a great way to go because he needs to have a little bit of fun before he leaves for good. And honestly, Raw needs to be ran a little bit better than what Vince has been doing so far. We know that Raw has been literally a chore to watch at times, and it really hasn't been as fun as it was back in the day. So honestly, I really do see that Shane's going to take over Raw. This is going to be a really tough match for him. But it's going to be a fun match for Taker, and this is definitely going to be his last stand to what he's going to, I'm not going to say last stand, but I'm going to say this is definitely going to be his last ride in the wrestling ring, and I think he's going to have fun dropping the ball to Shane McMahon. That's just me. But let's move on to the number 1 theory of WrestleMania 32. Dean Ambrose, the guy that we wanted to see win the Royal Rumble. We did not want to see Triple H. We did not want to see Roman Reigns. Even though Roman Reigns did not officially win the Royal Rumble. I know. But we all wanted to see Dean Ambrose reach that brass ring. We wanted to see him as champ. We did not want to see Roman Reigns, and we did not want to see Triple H. And everybody believes in their heart of hearts that Dean Ambrose is not going to win against Triple H. My theory is that Dean Ambrose will beat Triple H, and he will main event WrestleMania with Roman Reigns. And I just blacked out for a second. But here's an interesting spin on this. And this is why I think that they should do this. And it's a great theory. If they actually allow Dean Ambrose to beat Triple H at whatever pay-per-view this is coming up, Roadblock. If he actually does beat Triple H at Roadblock and takes the belt off of Triple H to main event WrestleMania, that opens up the return of Seth Rollins. It could be a possibility that Seth Rollins might come back early. It could be. That would be a great spin on things. It really would be. The one thing that we always want to see is a Shield reunion. Even though it won't be technically a Shield reunion, it'll just be a Shield backstabbing again. But it can actually bring in Seth Rollins. We haven't seen Seth in a while. So it would be extremely awesome to see Seth Rollins show up just as when they're about to win. He doesn't really have a Money in the Bank or anything to cash out, but he can screw somebody, and then somehow we'll have a new champion. I don't know. But other than that, it will be a really great way to fish in Seth Rollins, as well as having a decent main event with brother versus brother. I don't want to see Triple H on my screen that much anymore, because Triple H needs to be focusing on being a COO. Don't get me wrong. At times when it's important, yes, show up. But not every single night. The corporation needs to die. And I'm hoping that it dies at WrestleMania 32. And if he actually does lose at Roadblock, it opens up so many possibilities for WrestleMania 32 and for the main event match. Well, guys, that's my overall theories of WrestleMania 32. What are your theories? What are your top 3? Leave it in the comments below. I am curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are. But other than that, that is it for me. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. Later.